Hey YouTube, it's me Protogenius back with another fun origami tutorial. Today we're going to be making a Chinook helicopter. Now believe it or not, this is a pretty cool little helicopter that doesn't take very long to make. It has a new triple bladed propeller on the top of it. It's I feel like it's a better propeller than the ones I've made in the past. I'm going to start putting these kind of propellers on my origami from this point on whenever I do something that takes a propeller. And so yeah, come follow along. Alright, so we're going to start off with our regular sheet of square paper. I've used one that's kind of a bit of a sand camo color. This is going to make it look really cool, but yeah, just do it with whatever you guys have got, but it looks really cool. You do something stylized like this. So how I'm going to start with this is I'm going to go ahead and fold an X shape right off the bat here. Fold up in each corner, and we're going to open that up, and we're going to fold the other direction now. You guys remember as this tutorial goes on, if I'm too fast for you, feel free to back up, pause, or yeah, rewind. Just watch this as many times as you need to get it in order to get anything that's hard, because I'm trying to do this in a timely manner for you guys. And so alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to flip that over. And we're going to fold it in half, both directions. So, both directions. There's one. There's two. Okay, so now if you look, there's creases that now are facing inwards, and what we're going to do is just kind of push those in, make that X shape right there. Then we're going to take and we're going to turn it on its side and flatten that out. Perfect. Alright, so now what we're going to do is going to turn that towards facing towards us, and we're going to fold this edge into our middle area right here. Perfect. Now let's do that on the other side. Try not to tear it down in this area here, guys, because it's very easy to tear that area. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to flip that over and do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Perfect. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to fold along this line right here. I'm just going to fold inwards with this piece. I'm going to open that up and fold it the other direction. I'm establishing a fold here. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to open these up, front and back. And we're going to get our thumbs down inside of this area right here. Keep your finger right here on the top. Push that down inside. And then we're going to reverse fold these folds right here. Perfect. Just like that. Alright, once we've done that fold, we're going to fold this back down, and we're going to flip that over, and do the same thing on the other side. Just like this. Fold that down, right there. Same thing on the other side. Reverse fold those creases that we made. Perfect. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, perfect. All right, and so now we're going to take that, we're going to fold that back down towards ourselves there, and we've got this nice little kite shape here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that, and we're going to make sure this is good and flat right here. We're gonna reach inside of this area. We're gonna lift up on this right here and just put that upwards that direction. Now this is gonna become the front of our helicopter right here, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold right along these two lines right here. So I'm gonna push this piece up right here, just like that. Creasing it, pushing this side down. You can see how it's kind of overlapping now, and just kind of push that crease up and over, just like that. Perfect. All right. So now what we're going to do is take this area and we're going to push it down and inside of this area on top. Don't let it fan out too far because it will crease weird. This just needs to lay down flat against the middle area right there. And pinch that. Try not to rip the tip on it. Very good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get inside and we're going to come back from the tip 1/4 of an inch right here. In this area, just come back 1/4 of an inch and we're going to flip this piece upwards and make a little bit of a V right here. And we're going to make this piece right here fold to where it's parallel with this crease right here. That crease. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the back area over here, and we're going to come back about 1 inch from the middle fold. 1 inch, maybe a little bit more, like 1 inch to 1 1/4 inches. Right there. Don't pull it back too far because then it will look weird. Just like that. Fold back in a V fold, just like this. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold back from this point to this point. We're just going to fold this actually down and inside. So we're just going to take that and fold in right here along that fold. And you'll notice it's not going to lay down perfectly on the inside area right there. It's going to actually kind of fold backwards a little bit from that. If you need to reverse fold this, and then to establish the crease and then fold the other direction, that works too. I do that a lot on here. So we'll just do that with this side. So I'm going to fold back this direction now, just like we did on the other side, only it's going the other direction. So now we've established that fold. Now we're going to take it and we're going to push that same fold inside of the back of the helicopter here. So just go ahead and push that back inside. Let me get my hands on it here. There we go. I'll fold that other piece out of the way as we get that. Just kind of push it down inside and crease it back on itself right there. They have a little bit of overlap, but that's okay. That'll be just fine. So now those two pieces should lay down on top of each other pretty evenly now. Just like that. Make sure that's all the way back into that crease. See, now they're overlapping in the middle. Crease it over. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we are going to fold back this line right here to where this point just goes right along that fold right here, just like that. Very nice. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Flip that over, take that fold it backwards. Should meet right up with that point right there. Alright, we're going to take that and we're going to fold it back out again. Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of fold this upwards, as you can see. Now this area right here, we're going to come back 1/3 of an inch from this point. We're going to make a parallel fold right along that, all the way down right here. So just come right here, fold that back, make sure it's good and parallel with that line. Now with the top line, this one shouldn't be exactly parallel. We're going to work on that here in a minute. Just like that. Now if you look inside, we're going to kind of push that up. Just kind of leave it like that. We're going to reverse fold. We're going to fold the other side up too. Don't don't tear the tip of the helicopter as we do this. So we folded that up. Now what we're going to do is just kind of fold that down to where it lays down on top of the other one evenly. This is how we ensure that our sides are the same on it. Perfect. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is kind of a little bit of a tricky fold now. What we're going to do is we're going to get this area right here, and we're going to fold this piece down on top of that and just kind of try not to tear. It likes to tear right here a lot. Like this spot right here really loves to tear. Just be careful with it. And just going to take that and kind of lay it back a little and fold right across the top of that fold right there. All the way back. Careful with that nose of the helicopter. Just like that. That's where it overlaps on the top of it. Like this. You can see it's kind of bowed out on the end here. Just don't mind that. You're just going to fold this back over again. So take this now. Push that piece down into the middle really well. And then fold the piece back over. Like that. You should have a little piece that hangs out in the middle right there. Just a little bit. They'll overlap each other on the inside. So you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take this right now. Get up underneath here very carefully, don't rip it, and then just crease this piece over the top right here. Just like this, all the way down. Push it down into the middle, just like that, and fold that over. Just like that. Perfect. Now they should meet up in the middle pretty evenly, so where they don't overlap. Where they just meet up in the middle. Very good. Alright, so now what we're going to do is going to look at that from the top. Now this is starting to look like a Chinook helicopter, and in this area right here what we're going to do is we're actually going to be folding this piece back on the inside, and this is another area where it will tear because this is very tight now. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to fold, first off we're going to fold this area right here back to where it's pointed straight upwards, right up to that crease. You can see the fold on the back side here. We're just going to fold right up to that fold, making this part point straight up. And this line will be parallel with this line right here and with these lines. This is going to be our little wheel when we're done. And so pointing up like that, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. That piece, fold it to where it points straight up, over the top of the other one, just like that. Very good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to very carefully crease this along this fold inwards. Push that down inside, missing that middle area. Just kind of push it to the side of that middle area right there. Just like that. Very good. I'm going to go right along that fold that we made. Sorry, mine's got a little bit of this, something going on inside. There we go. Just like that. It should look like that from the top. We're going to take the other side and flip that over. Just going to kind of flatten that piece down to where this piece is still right there. Flatten that piece down and inside, right on top of where the other one is at. Very good. Now it should look like this, and we're just going to kind of get our thumb on this area right here and flatten it all back down. It's got these little leg looking parts under here. That's going to be the wheels for our helicopter. Very good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a fold from this point right here. See this little fold right here? We're going to fold from this point right here back to the nose of the helicopter, being very careful not to rip it. Actually have a little bit of a rip starting right there because I've handled the paper a bit now. Just be really careful with it. just like that. We're gonna make a little bit of a fold just like that. You can see that right there. And so what we're gonna do with that now is we're gonna take and open that back up and get our finger inside of this area. Very small area. If you need to use a pen, you can get in there with that too. And I'm just really carefully trying not to tear the paper underneath. And kind of lift this up. It's gonna make a little bit of a pocket like that. What we're gonna do is just kind of make a fold from here back to that point as we lay this over. Just kind of push this down right there, shape it, push it over, and just let it lay like that. It's gonna give us our little front wheel nub area for our Chinook. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, so fold right along from this point to the nose. Just like that. Fold that over. Just like that. To where it matches the other one. Just like that. And then what we're gonna do is get inside of it. Right there. Without tearing underneath. Now I'm just going to take and I'm just going to push this area down on the front. Just like that. To where it made a crease right down there into that corner, or that little edge right there. So now that should lay over. It should overlap just a little bit. It will be fine. Just like that. So these are our little front nubs here for our wheels. Now this one doesn't have wheels on the front. I apologize if you guys are all wanting the wheels on the front. This one doesn't have that, but it will have wheels on the back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the back area where these little parts are sticking down, and we're going to take and we're going to flatten it out on top right here. Just flatten it out like that, and we're going to make a fold straight across this area right here, like this. Not straight across, but pull it back a little bit from that area. So where it looks kind of like that. And do that on both sides, just like this. Just like that. Just gonna fold it like that right there. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to look at it from the side right here, and we're going to pinch this area right here at the top of this. Just kind of make two little V's. One right here. We're going to make one right here. Just like this. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is just kind of fold that down and over. And that's going to give us our little wheel shape right there. So we pinch the top area, and now you can see it's got a little wheel shape to it. Let me roll that down just a little here. Not too much. And there's a little wheel. So now we'll get on the other side and do the same thing. Just flip that over. Pinch it right here on each side. Just like that. Both sides. Just like that. Now we're going to roll over the bottom piece right here. Just roll that over and push it underneath. And we got our back wheels made. Very good. 1, 2. And these can lay up underneath if you want it to make it look like it's flying. So cool. And now, believe it or not, it will stand up on its own if you've done it correctly. We got our little wheels under there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our top folds to establish where the area will be where the shaft is going to be come out of the top of the helicopter. So what we're going to do is I typically just do a fold across where this area is at right here. I just fold it backwards, And then I go and I reverse fold that the other direction, folding it backwards, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up right here and push that down inside that I just folded right there, just like that. And then I'm going to very carefully fold backwards now on that to where it comes back out the top. This can be less than 1/4 inch of these little zigzag we got going on right here in this area on the nose. You can see that kind of popped out a little. Now while we've got it right there, we're going to make the shaft, so that we're going to just fold back these little edges right here into a little triangle fold. You can see right here, just fold this backwards. Sorry, our tail's getting in the way here. Fold this backwards. If you can't see it real well on this area, I'm going to do it on the back end here, so it's a lot bigger in that area, and you can see what we're doing on the front. So just take that, and then we're going to fold this up into a little fold like this, 2 little V folds, just like that, and then we're going to make a fold straight up from that area, parallel with our center fold on that piece, just like this. It's very small little area, I know, it's hard to see. We'll get it though. It's gonna look like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Get in here, get your finger up inside of that, push it backwards, crease it just like that. Perfect. See, it should look like this. And try to get it as close as you can, you know, but it's going to be folded in half, and there's going to be a propeller on it, so you really won't see it if it's a little bit off, if one side is not quite lined up with it. And so now we're going to take that, it should look like this from the front. We're just going to take that and push that down and inside, like that. Now this one is supposed to be at the very front of the helicopter, like where it's sitting. The other one's going to need to be more in the middle when we do this other part here. So we're going to take that, we're going to fold it where we need it to be folded. It's about, this one's about 3/4 of an inch. I can even measure that. About 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, between 3/4 and 1/2 inch, somewhere in there. Don't make it too big. If you do it, it'll look weird. So yeah, that's what the top's gonna look like right there. So we're just gonna take and reverse fold this now, the other direction. Just like this. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to open up the back area right here and fold this down inside, just like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna fold that back upwards. I'd say give it about 1/4 inch that you fold it back at, so it folds up after 1/4 inch, just like that. Then we're going to do the same thing we did on the front. We're going to take this area, we're going to fold this tip up along this edge here. So I'm going to just kind of grab this and pinch that right there so it lays down like that on the inside. Do the same thing on the other side. Just going to roll that upwards. Gonna look like that on both sides, and now what we're gonna do is just kind of open that up, kind of push those back down again, get our finger inside of this and make a fold straight up from where that little V ended, right there, straight upwards, just like that. Do the same thing on the other side, right here, upwards. Kind of flatten that piece to where it goes down inside, just like that. Perfect, just like that. See, we could flatten this area out, but then that blade is pulled too far forward. And so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to kind of get in here, the top area, and just kind of push it back carefully to where the shaft is right in the middle area right there. We're just going to kind of bend that upwards as we put the propeller on it. So right now the propeller can go on it, and then we'll fold it back the other direction. If you want to make it to where the blades spin, you'll need to just kind of flatten this out a little bit, even more than it is right now. And it'll make it very rounded in that area right there. Same as on the front. Perfect. And so now we're going to do one last little fold here on the back. We're going to do a fold from here. We're just going to kind of fold this piece down and underneath, So just very carefully, just like this, try not to rip things underneath. It's just going to kind of lay down inside of there, and just fold it back. It's going to come back from that area 3/4 of an inch, right there. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. Flip that over, just fold that underneath, just like this. Just make sure that they're good and mirrored to where they're even from the one side to the other, so they're in the right spot. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of come back down here and refold that area right there. Make sure it's good and solid, it's good and solidified, and then straighten our little wheels out. So do that, and then do the other side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our propeller. And so we're gonna move over to this other piece of paper here real quick. So we're gonna want to take another sheet of copy paper, and we're gonna make a cut. We're gonna pull back 3 inches from one side, and we're gonna make a cut at that line. So go ahead and make a 3-inch piece, and we're gonna actually end up cutting off part of this still once we get to the end of things. So 3 inches, and if you want to mark that, I'm just going to use a little pencil here. Mark that, go to the top of this here, mark that, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make a line right here. It's easier just to fold it this way sometimes. And we're just going to cut along that line that we've just made right there. Okay, so now we have our piece of copy paper, or a piece of paper that we're going to use for our helicopter blades. And we're going to make a few folds on here, so let's go ahead and take that and fold it right in half. And then we're going to take and open that up, and we're going to make another fold right into the middle, right here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. And we're going to open that up. And we're actually going to make 3 blades with this, and so what we're going to do is that was just a reference fold in that area, and so we're going to take and we're going to fold this back. This fold on the back side right here should go right in the middle of this area too. So just like that. Now if you've done it correctly, you should be able to just fold this right over again, and it should meet right up with that middle line. Yep, just like we wanted. And it's okay that we have the other fold in the middle right there, because we will be using that in a minute. So, alright, so we do the same thing on the other side here. Just fold that right into the middle area. Right there, between this area right here. This is going to be in the middle of that area right there. See? Right in the middle. We're going to take that and we're going to fold that back on itself. Perfect. Now it should meet up. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and open that up. And we should have 6 sections now, and then 2 folds in the middle that we don't need to worry about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different folds, and then that makes 6 different pieces. What we're going to do is we're going to cut along this first line, this line, middle line, and then the other 2 lines on the sides, and not worrying about that middle line at all. So don't cut yourself as you're doing this, guys. Be careful. If you are in need of an adult, get someone that can help you cut the paper so you don't have to worry about hurting yourself. Like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take each of those. I'm just going to take the one that has the fold right down the middle already. I'm going to fold that right in half. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold into the middle area, right down into the middle area here, just like this, that middle crease. And do the same thing on the other side. Fold it into the middle area. Just like that. We're just going to make a whole bunch of these. So fold that in half right there. It should look like this from the top. Alright, what we're going to do is take that and we're going to make a whole bunch of those. So we're going to take each of these, fold them in half, open it up, fold it into the middle area, both directions, just like this. If it doesn't meet up perfectly in the middle, that's fine. You're actually going to want it to have a little bit of a gap right there as you're going, because you're going to need to be able to insert the other pieces into it. So now that we've got all those made, we're going to take that and we're going to look at the top of this area here. We're going to do a fold where we kind of open it up. We open it up just a little bit right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put our thumb to where we're going to make a kind of a fold right here. There's a right angle fold. It folds back on itself right there, just like that. That's just a reference fold. Now we're going to open that up. Just like this. You can see there's a little bit of a fold right there. We're just going to kind of push that down inside, and we're going to pinch the sides right here. Just like that. It should look like this from the top. Just like that. It's kind of a harder color to see. Sorry about that, guys. And so now this is what it's going to look like. And what I like to do is actually I'll crease it down, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and pinch it a little bit at the top area right here, because we're making a 3-blade. We're going to actually kind of fold these back just a little bit right here to where it kind of is a little off center from where it was, or it's not completely square like it was. It's going to actually be a little bit folded back like this. And there's a reason why. It's because these are going to lock into the next piece. And so now we're going to just make a bunch of these. So we're going to take that. I'm just going to make the triangle fold here with my finger. So fold that into a triangle shape right here. Just like this. Remember, fold that into and fold that corner down on the side that's on the outer side here, and then we're just going to take and push that down into the triangle and pinch it. Once you get used to this, you don't even need to do that first fold. So we got that part right there. Now we're just going to take and pinch the very front of it and fold it backwards a little bit. Just like that. Perfect. Next. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to put these together. So I'm going to take that one right there, I'm going to open it up a bit. I'll take the next one with it. And we're going to take that and we're going to face both pieces outwards to where the creases are on the inside right there, where that's facing upwards. We're going to take that piece. Now they're both facing the inside crease here. And we're going to take and we're going to insert this piece down inside of this area right here on the blade. So we're just going to take that and stick one piece inside, and then the next piece inside like this. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the top here, because when these get folded down, we're going to have a little bit of a triangle in the middle area right here. So we're you can adjust it a little bit if you have enough of a gap in here, right there. And we're going to go and do the next one now. So we got this piece right here where it has the little nubs folded up on it. I'm going to take another one and we're going to open that up right there. So we're just going to take and flatten this part out here, and we're going to take and insert this blade in the end here, just right there. Just kind of stop sliding the blade in there. I'm just going to fold that back over like that and flatten out this next one here to do the same thing with. So we're just going to take that, and we're going to take our next one, we're going to carefully flatten that out so it's ready to insert the other blade into it. We're just going to take that and insert the blade in the end right there, and just slide that piece up right there, just like that, to where it's about an inch from the very top of the piece. And then we're going to take and we're going to fold that back. We're going to flatten that back down now, all the way down. I'm going to push that in, and now you can see where our fold is going to be is actually overlapping right where it needs to be on that other blade. Now this top one this last blade is going to be the interesting one because we can't just slide this blade down inside of it, but what we can do is just take that and flatten this other blade out carefully. And then just very carefully open it up and insert the tab down inside. Just like that. Insert the tab. We're going to open up the other side here now too. Insert both tabs underneath those creases. Just like that. So it gets down inside. And now what we're going to do is it's not going to look quite perfect yet until we start to get this flattened out in the correct spot. Make sure that it slid down inside of there enough to where this starts to make an equilateral triangle right here. You can see right through it like that. Now what we're going to do is just going to take this and very carefully flatten it back out, or very carefully reestablish our creases here. And that is how you make a three-piece helicopter blade. So now we're going to take our helicopter that we've already previously finished, and we're going to grab this helicopter blade that we've just made, and we're going to slide the front one on, just kind of right over the top of that piece. And we're going to fold this piece. We're going to fold it inwards. We're going to fold this piece in right here, kind of flatten it out, and then this piece is actually going to point outwards on this, but we're going to fold that piece in the middle in right there. So now this is going to fold outwards like that, and then this one's going to do the same. It's going to do a bit of a fold like that, and then this one's going to face the same direction as the other blade, just like that. And if you need to flatten it out a little bit on there, you can. And now, if we just kind of pull that forward just a little bit on that, it should have stood that blade up. Just kind of pinch right here and pull that forward in that little area right there. And that blade should sit about right where it's supposed to be. And we have just finished our Chinook helicopter. Alright, well I hope you guys had a good time making that helicopter, because I know I had a blast designing it for you guys. And so make sure to stay tuned next week for some more great tutorials that are going to be coming up. And if you guys haven't checked out the stand for this helicopter, go check it out. It's not just for this helicopter, it's for all different kinds of paper airplanes and origami. It doesn't matter what it is you're working on with that. It's just a really good little display so that you can show your work to other people. You can have it on display and make it look good instead of it just being crammed in a box or a bag somewhere. And so, yeah, make sure to check in next week. Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Give me different requests on things you want to see, and I will see you guys next time.